Hey, this is Woodman here. I want to talk to you about the fact that even the smallest amounts of alcohol are probably pretty bad for you at this point. I know that in the past we'd heard things about, oh, well, maybe a beer here and there, maybe a glass of wine, good for the heart health, good for the brain, but apparently that all seems to be wrong. The long held belief that moderate alcohol consumption can be beneficial for health is not panning out the way people have presented it. They've been doing more research studies, more in depth research studies, more longer time period based research studies. And first off, in terms of cardiovascular health, contrary to earlier claims that moderate drinking could improve heart health, newer studies have indicated that alcohol might actually contribute to an increased risk of hypertension, cardiomyopathy, as well as arrhythmias. The relationship between alcohol and cardiovascular health is complex, and the emerging consensus that scientists are now reaching is that the potential harms to be caused even by little amounts of alcohol far outweigh any of the presumed benefits. Additionally, there's a linkage with alcohol and cancer. Alcohol is classified as a Group 1 carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, meaning that it is a known cause of cancer. Who knew? Alcohol consumption is linked to various cancers, including those of the mouth, throat, esophagus, liver, colon, and breast. Breast cancer, imagine that. Even light drinking can increase the risk of these cancers, emphasizing the need for caution. I'm telling you, people, we've been misled. Liver damage. The liver, of course, is particularly vulnerable to the effects of alcohol. This is something we've known for a long time. Chronic consumption can lead to a wide range of liver diseases, from fatty liver to hepatitis, fibrosis, as well as cirrhosis. Even occasional drinking can strain the liver's capacity to process and detoxify alcohol, leading to ultimate long term damage. Mental health. Alcohol impacts mental health, often exacerbating conditions like depression and anxiety. While it may offer some temporary relief at the time, some kind of euphoria, alcohol is a depressant that can worsen mental health issues over time. Its use is also linked to an increased risk of suicide and self harm. So, contrary to what we've been told, yeah, yeah, it's bad. What about cognitive decline? Research is now also showing that alcohol can accelerate cognitive decline and increase the risk of dementia. The neurotoxic effects of alcohol can damage brain cells and impair cognitive functions, affecting memory, learning, and decision making abilities, even with moderate consumption. I do remember hearing that back in the day. That actually was something that they talked about, that if you drank too much beer, that it could kill off your brain cells and they don't grow back. I remember hearing that. But nonetheless, I think somewhere it got drowned out over time, but now it's making a resurgence. And it's not just beer. Alcohol consumption also has significant social and economic consequences. It's associated with a higher incidence of accidents, injuries, and violence. The economic burden includes healthcare costs, lost productivity, and expenses related to law enforcement and social services. I mean, I had a supervisor once that, she really had an issue with alcoholism, and she was constantly trying to get out of DUIs, and eventually it caught up with her. As much as she tried, I think she ended up having an accident due to alcohol use and died. Pregnant women are also advised to abstain from alcohol entirely due to the risk of fetal alcohol syndrome disorders, spectrum disorders. And these disorders can cause severe developmental, cognitive, and behavioral problems in children exposed to the alcohol in utero. Addiction and dependence. Obviously, this is something that goes without saying that some people do actually have the disease, right? The disease being that there's a high potential for addiction, dependence. Regular consumption can lead to tolerance, whereas more alcohol is needed to achieve the same effects. And thus, as you consume more and more, you become more and more addicted, and the withdrawal symptoms will kick in when not drinking. And this can result in a very destructive cycle. It's extremely difficult to break. There are also mixed messages in media culture at this time. I mean, obviously, alcohol indices don't want to hear people cutting into their business. So, media and cultural norms are going to portray alcohol as harmless or even beneficial and as a necessary part of social life. However, these portrayals can obscure the real risks and contribute to the public misperception that there is some safety to some level of alcohol consumption, which at this point, research studies are saying does not exist. What would we make for a conclusion here? The growing body of evidence against alcohol consumption is continuing to expand outwards from cancer risk to liver damage to mental health issues and beyond. The harms associated with alcohol are extremely significant. As research continues to unveil the detrimental effects of alcohol, public health messages and policies may increasingly emphasize abstinence or minimization to protect individual and community health. I mean, cigarettes had to go through this phase as well. There was a time when cigarette companies really were pushing hard to get people addicted to cigarettes, and we all see exactly how harmful cigarettes can really be. So there's going to be a lot of pushback, and a lot of people are not going to like this message. But unfortunately, I have to bring you messages of truth. I can't bring you messages just because it's popular, just because it makes money. The truth is that alcohol is going to cause you problems. If nothing else, the fact that it's destroying your brain is something you should be scared of because, people thought maybe, people were senile. Then eventually they realized, well, no, it's not just senility, it's actually dementia and Alzheimer's. But guess what? As I told you earlier in this video, alcohol contributes to that, which who knew, right? There's a link there. And so, if you already know that your family has a history of dementia and Alzheimer's, and then you're just drinking over the years, then that's just going to make it far, far worse because after decades of doing that, now when you get old, you're going to have serious problems remembering because your damage to your brain is going to speed up the process of the forgetfulness and the damage that will eventually cloud your mind, cloud your senses, cloud your memory, and it's just a terrible way to go at the end of your life, right? Like, you want to live your old years gracefully and you want to have dignity. Last thing you want to do is become a zombie because you drank too much alcohol. So I hope you enjoyed this message. If you're new here, you're welcome. This is a safe space. If you're returning, I'm glad that you're back. I appreciate you. It's for you that this channel continues to thrive, and your support is invaluable. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye.